let's just get into it. Dan, tell me all about Kingdom. You reviewed this game. Reviews on IGN now.
Yeah. It's a very interesting game. I had a very.
That's what my mom says when she doesn't like something, Dan.
No, I do like it.
It's interesting.
No, so it's interesting because like it's one of those like kind of brief, intense love affairs you have with a game where it's like super interesting for the first like 12 hours. Actually, like both me and my wife played the hell out of this game this past weekend. And it's beautiful, so it caught her attention. It's a very simple game to get the hang of and learn how to interact with, because there are only 3 buttons. It's a 2D game, just side-scrolling. All you do is go left, right, and spend money.
Sounds like
just like my life. Damn it!
Right.
Yes, love this man.
And so you're a king or a queen and it's randomly assigned.
And you're on the
king or
horse.
queen.
Yeah,
and you're on a horse.
I haven't
and
played it yet. But.
This entire game is literally you're on a horse. You walk left, right, and you go build, spend. Give me more of that.
It's like an Old Spice commercial. I'm on a horse. Yeah. But,
Okay.
Yeah. But so you're going back and forth, and you're spending money to recruit people, to upgrade your defenses, and build up your kingdom. And you get money by either like your guys will either hunt, like we were calling it bunny money, because they shoot these rabbits with arrows and they got to turn it into a coin.
Yeah, bunny money.
So you get either money from hunters. Then you have to build up your agriculture. I don't want to go too far into it because I don't want to like much of the joy of playing this game was learning how it worked. It tells you virtually nothing. There's almost no interface to it. The only thing that's on screen is your coin purse that's up on the left-hand side of the screen, and it doesn't even have numbers in there. It's
just bigger or smaller.
Yeah, no. It has like cross section, and
cool.
you see the individual coins drop into it.
Oh, funny.
It's a really interesting way of doing it, and imprecise, which is different from most management games where it's just like a whole bunch of numbers everywhere.
But like most governments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just a reckless monarch. It's like I can probably afford that.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only other kinds of interface it has is like when you go over something, it pops up with like a bunch of like coin slots, like this is how many coins this costs.
Oh, okay.
And other than that, it's all kind of environmental. It's a kind of a wave defense game in that you're building up and during the day and defending at night against monsters that attack you.
How many coins out of 100 did you give this stand?
I gave it 7.7 coins out of 10 coins. So that's pretty much it as far as what you think of as a user interface. Beyond that, it's just the position of the sun or moon in the sky that tells you where you are, what time it is, and just environmental stuff. I guess there's a bell that sounds at the beginning of a new day.
How do you, when you defend at night, what is that? Does that just mean like the choices you made during the day it's sort of just like this is how you're going to last the night?
It's just Werewolf,
Largely,
the video game.
Yeah.
Does it become tower defense at all, or is it just the buildings that you build?
Right. So I mean,
bolster your defense.
Yeah. I mean, there's very little you can do during the night to reinforce yourself because by that time it's mostly too late.
Yeah. Everybody's drunk.
Yeah. Well,
all your builders.
Yeah. You're under attack. Your builders are probably not going to be able to build anything new in time. You actually have to be careful not to start building something like right at dusk because they might not finish it in time, and then like if it's under construction, it just won't work. There are a bunch of little tricks like that you have to learn, and it took me probably about 12 hours of playing to figure out all these little rules. The problem with it is...
Do you get attacked every night?
Not every night.
Okay.
It's random. And like sometimes there will be a blood moon that comes up, and then there's just a huge wave of enemies that can do a lot of damage. So the problem is once you figure it out, it's not nearly as challenging anymore. Like right now, I could start playing and almost certainly win. And also, once you get to the point where your kingdom is really big, it gets kind of tedious because you have to run back and forth. You can't see anything but the screen you're looking at. You have no idea, like when you're on the left end of your kingdom, you have no idea what's going on the right. The right side of your kingdom could have been overrun. You don't know.
Which is like the opposite of what you want from a strategy building god game, right?
It-
like you
it
want to
is
be able
in-
to
yeah.
just bounce back and forth and manage everything at once.
I
Right,
kind of like that too, though, right? Like it
Right.
gives you a sense of you have to be where the action is.
Yeah.
To really
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
It's like what's going on over here? What's going on over here? It's the opposite of what you traditionally do in a management game like this, which is very interesting to a point.
how deep can your kingdom get?
The whole idea is
build.
to grow. Like you trying to grow to not quite the ends of the map, but you're trying to push the monsters
Expand
out.
as far as
But is it limitless or
No, it's not limitless.
So
you can win, and I did win. So it just got tedious to do because like you have to go out into the forest to recruit new people. For some reason, when you recruit people into your kingdom, they stop reproducing, which is weird.
Sure.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you have to go.
Just
out.
like your life.
Come
Am I
to our
right, Marty?
sterilization chamber.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So you have to go out into the woods and get new people, and that means you can get new people from one side and the other, and that means you have to go to both ends to kind of harvest that resource. There's a lot of kind of manually harvesting resources in order to incorporate them into your kingdom.
Sounds like you're having to do a lot as the king. Could you just hire some people, Dan?
Exactly.
Jeez.
right.
Like that's the thing. Like I like that it kind of simulates the thing. Like in the olden days, there were no telephones, so you had to actually send someone over there to see what was going on.
Gotta go into town today.
Right, but
There were, Dan, but they had cords on them. I lived those days.
but like you don't even have like a messenger who you can send over there and tell hey, come back and tell me what's going on. You have to actually go over there, and your horse.
No ravens. They need ravens.
No ravens.
Dan.
Yeah, your horse is you can gallop. Like if you just double tap the arrow button, he'll gallop, but only for a little while, and then he'll start and huff and puff. And that's another thing I really like about this game is that like the animations are really full of character, even though they're really low definition. And like the horse when it gets tired.
Right?
Oh yeah, very
Yeah.
pixelated.
No, I've seen the video.
Yeah.
It looks really cute, and
Yeah.
I gotta
when
try it out now.
when the horse gets tired, you can see little puffs of breath out of his mouth.
Just like Marty.
Yeah, I
At the
played
game.
it. Yeah, that sounds like me. I played the game in 2013. It was a browser game. I think I played it like 2 years back, and I remember playing this browser game and being like, "Oh, this is super cute," and then I literally didn't know it was coming out until this morning.
That's funny.
When you said my review's going up today. I was like, "Oh, awesome."
Yeah. Did you guys ever play Rus? R-U-S? I think there's like an actual proper
I
Nordic
remember that.
pronunciation that I cannot do. But similar ideas, right? Like it's much more of a god game than a city management game. But you are like a big dude. You're a big god, and you have to walk around this
It's like
circular
a little
map.
sphere at the bottom.
Yeah, and you just walk around and you're like, what's going on over here? Build this. What's going on over here? Fix this. Squash this. And I love that. Like I love working in a limited space and building the most efficient, amazing machine that you can.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a lot of that to this. I never actually played that one, but I did edit a review of it. But
It's as good as playing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And by that standard, I've played a lot of games. No,
To clarify, Dan said he edited a review. Not he didn't play it, but he did a review. I just want to make sure that's clear. He edited.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that to this. It's by far the simplest management game I've ever seen, though. Like the simplest in terms of how you interact with it.
Yeah.
Like, and you go back to like Dungeon Keeper, and it's the same idea of like you're not directly doing things, but you're saying, hey, do this for me, and your minions take the resources.
Oh,
that have
minions?
Yeah.
Like Phil?
Yeah.
Phil shows up out of nowhere?
Yeah. There's almost certainly gonna be a mod for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about the graphics in this is the peasants. They look kind of ugly.
Peasants are.
well, they
ugly.
are.
I mean, yeah.
They're
Come
ugly
on,
because
man.
they don't have money.
Yeah.
Just how it was back in the day, Dan.
Yep.
Back in Game of Thrones time.
Back in the Dragon days.
Yeah, it sounds like it would, like in a non-pejorative sense, it sounds like it would make a really good iOS game. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like a really good mobile game, and not in a.
Yeah, it seems like a good playing game on the iPad. you know?
Absolutely.